Martin from the Philippines. We're here in Real Talk Lifelines. I'm coming at you with this quick live because I want to share this while it's still fresh. This one is called How to Not Feel Bad. So, people who actually already have experience with this, people watching the live or the replay, feel free to share your tips, your experience, your life experience down below, and we can all learn from each other. So, what I'll be doing here is I'll be just sharing something very recent, and it's a realization, a lesson to myself. It might help someone else too. And I'll share it also by narrating something that happened just yesterday. So the title of this is How to Not Feel Bad. And if any of you can relate, have fun and comment down below. I'll read it and I'll respond also. And we can all learn from each other. So I'll be sharing reflections on yesterday. I'll be sharing my screen in a bit. And what happened here, I'll just go very straight into it. And then I'll share context and just recap it in the end. Is how to not feel bad. What worked for me yesterday was to have a clear mission, purpose, or intention. And the question that I asked myself was, how can I help? So, again, I'll share more details or the context behind this. So, what happened was it can be as simple as this person needs help or this person needs support. And then I just focused on that. So this one helped me overcome any ego thoughts that I had, whether it's second guessing, like, should I do this? Should I not do this? Comparison, like, what if someone else, right, uh, is gets the better or worse or whatever like that, right? How about me? What about me, right? That's comparison. If anyone can relate. And then any bad feeling, sad, as in sad, angry, or disappointed. If any of you can relate, comment down below if any of you have ever felt that in your life, and if you could relate to it. Also, moving forward, comment too if ever you were also able to find a way on how to shift or not feel bad. So, what I'm gonna do very quickly here is I'm gonna share my screen over here. I'm going to share a window over here. And I'm going to share with you what happened yesterday, just so you guys get a live example of how that looks like. So, yesterday, what happened here on how to not feel bad, this is what happened. So, the day yesterday, so I had this work meeting, but the main thing I'll focus on is this. So, someone was uh, I got a message the day before. So this was Tuesday. I'm going to share with you Tuesday. So I got a message Monday night. So after my um work meeting, this happened anyway. So a message where one this person rarely reaches out to me. And then a friend of mine too also messages that this person needs support. So it was an added hint or alert to me, literally saying, for example, he needs us, like that. So I kind of just followed my tug. That's a saying. It's like following your gut feeling, your intuition, or your higher self, like a calling, a hint, right? So what happened was this, just to make the long story short. After my work meeting in the morning, this is around 1 p.m. So I'm reflecting on yesterday. I had a very clear mission, purpose, or intention, which was I want to support this person. This person rarely asks me for help, rarely reaches out. So this is kind of, not usual. And then my intention was, how can I help? Now here's the plot twist in this one. Those who actually drive a car, people watching the live, comment down below. Comment drive. If you guys know what it's like to drive a car, especially here in Manila, Metro Manila, like the traffic, or wherever you are. And if you could relate, comment drive down below. So Comment also if you could relate to this, that there are coding days where you can't use the car on that day. So this happened to be a Tuesday. So comment coding if you've ever experienced, you have you have access to a car, you're able to use a car, but because of coding, you can't drive out on the public roads that day. So comment down below, coding, if you can relate. So this was one of those days. And that spontaneous call for help, again relating it to how to not feel bad, I really don't think or believe that this person who was reaching out knew this, like knew all these little details about where I'm coming from. So how am I gonna help this person? I'm all the way down south in Alabang, Montelupa City, and this person is in all the way up in Balintawak, like Quezon City area. It's really far, just to keep it simple. And you don't have a car now. So what I ended up doing, so I'm just gonna check here. Okay, the live. So what I ended up doing was I took a bus. So again, the topic here is how to not feel bad, right, in this live while I narrate the story. And my very first challenge here was boarding the bus. I arrived here. I left there around 1 p.m. here. I walk to the bus station, the nearest bus station. By the way, you might also notice something here, just no overnight parking. It'll become relevant later on. So as I walk here, I arrive like 1 p.m. Time is ticking like that. I find a place to park that's safe. I walk here to the nearest bus station. I get there around 1:32. So I just barely miss the 1:30 bus. The next one is in 30 minutes. So I go in. All right. And then I overhear someone here talking about commuting, taking the train, the MRT, the Metro Rail Transit. So I was gonna do that too. So while I ask questions innocently, this person, again, I'm the very first person who just boarded the next bus already. A few people come in. While I'm asking a question, this this woman enters. Speeder ticket comes in, and I'm to be fair, I'm along the walkway of the center line of the bus. Gives me this really bad look, like an angry, like she had like a lot of anger or resentment towards me. And I was like, whoa, pwede po kayo dumaan. Like you can walk, you could pass, right? I even had to step back and give way. But like the face was just so nasty and angry towards me. So it's like I almost got into a fight in public, right, with this random woman. So I let it pass, I let it go. End up waiting till 2 p.m. from 1:32. Next stop over here, I walk over from the bus station. This goes Alabang to Makati, as you could see. Walk from Greenbelt 5 to Ayala Station. So it's a bit of a walk, but this is the nearest train station. So it's been a while, it's been years since I've done this. I've done it in the past, so I'm like, okay, let me learn this. And then I get a ticket. Now again, the topic is how to not feel bad. My mind is just all on one mission, right? I just gotta get to Ayala Cloverleaf, like this place up north in Balintawak. So I have to find the right ticket, the right place. I go from Ayala station to Taft. So I have to take this weird detour, right? Why? So when I change stations from like 1, 2 stations down south, further towards the end, I'll keep walking. I take the train first, of course. I keep walking and I have to transfer to the LRT, the light rail transit. It's a different train line. So it was a bit of an adventure, right? And I'm like, what the hell am I doing? I'm sharing ego thoughts on the side, right? These random thoughts in my head. And then I think this is already 2 p.m. Another challenge here was lining up for the LRT in the ticket station. Again, I try to be very respectful, and most people are, right? Then this guy behind me in the line, he's like sticking his body against me. Like it's like bump and grind proximity level. And I'm like, dude, like if I even just move back a bit to kind of stretch, my body is gonna touch his. So that was my second test of patience or character there. And I was also texting, updating, like, I'm on the way, I'm almost there. And then I was like, magkukusay, I'm like, we're gonna get there. This impatient guy with no sense of personal space just kept like pushing into me more. So I was like, Kuya, makakarating tayo. So other people were fine, they were no problem. Not as This actually wasn't as bad as the first girl in the bus, who gave me like that very nasty look. So I'm going up north all the way from EDSA. This is one of the most bottom stations. I think it's just second to the last, like Baclaran. So EDSA all the way up to Balintawak. For a moment, I had heaven in there. So that's the train around 2 2:30 p.m. looking kind of empty. So yes, I also had moments of like peace there. Normally, if you ride the train, especially in rush hours, it's like sardines. You're jam packed there. It's the opposite of what you're seeing. And then finally, I make it to the last station where I'm meant to go to. So Balintawak, this is the place where I was going to meet and support this person. And I walked a bit further down, like 10-15 minute walk down to the mall where we met, and then it ended up going from like at 3:50 p.m. or 4 about 4 p.m. and we ended up finishing like around 6:36. Extended a bit. I changed location to maybe around 8:30 or 9 already. Why is that relevant? The last trains or buses going home here is the last photo I'll share. Or no, one of the last photos I'll share. I believe was around 9:30, something like that, or 10. So I arrived in this bus station at 9:34 p.m. and I have no idea when the last call is for this. The latest one I saw when I tried Googling was like 9:30 or 10. So I didn't know if I would make the cut. So fortunately, I made it. This certain bus is different from a P2P, but it still works. Um, I caught it. It was the cutoff was I think 10 or 10:30 p.m. So I ride this one. It's a little more public, not as private as the P2P bus. I get dropped off in South Station. This is already around 10 p.m., past 10, I believe. And I'm like, how am I gonna get back home or to where I parked also? Keep walking. So I just walk from South Station, going back, heading towards the village. Because I wasn't familiar with like the jeepneys or like the commute of in that area. I just walked it, in other words. So this gate, the village gate, where I parked the car in a safe spot, was already closed. So people who know this gate closes around 10 p.m. and it was already past it, as you could see. So I had to take the long way round. I had to walk further to the main gate and then loop back to this other gate where the car was parked. Why? Because you see that sign over there which says no overnight parking. And this was already about past 10, maybe almost 11 p.m. already. So I didn't want the car to get clamped, locked down or like ticketed or, security just does something to it. So I ended up walking to this. So all in all, I believe I did about 12,500 steps that day of walking. That's like 9 kilometers. And then I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. I think that really was the last photo. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, going back to me, and go back to this topic of how to not feel bad. So You just heard my story yesterday. From after my morning meeting for work, I left around 1 p.m. because I was trying to make it to a 3 p.m. meeting far up north where I think it's the first time I ever commuted that way because I didn't have access to any car because of coding, for those who could relate. And here's the funny thing, again, why the topic is how to not feel bad. I did not feel bad at all that day. Did I sweat a lot? Did I take a lot of feel a lot of effort, exert, uh, go grow out of my comfort zone a lot? Definitely, right? But then I didn't feel bad. Oddly, right? I didn't feel bad. I didn't second guess, meaning whether it worked or not, I still felt like I would have done it. No regrets for this person. Comparison, I didn't know again what I was getting into. So I didn't know if I was a first option as just like an extra option or a last option of the person or anyone. I still did it anyway, right? No comparison. And then I didn't have any bad feeling because my intention was just really clear. I just wanted to support this person again. This person rarely reaches out to me, and that's all I was focusing on. And then I was also just so focused on that mission to get there in the first place, and then to find a way back home for all of the reasons that you just saw in my sharing, right? So again, I'll do a quick recap of this live on my reflections yesterday. I had a very clear mission, which was this person reached out and needed support to the literal words or point of he needs us. That's what I heard, or that's how I felt and understood it. So it was clear to me. And the only question or thought I had in my head was, how can I help? So even if I went all the way there, and after a few seconds, this person is like, you can't help me. Okay, I can walk away in peace. My intention was clear, you know, my purpose was clear, and that was my mission for that day. It ended up extending a bit longer. So I thought I'd be there from like 3 to 6 p.m. or 7, and then I ended up staying until 8:45, like almost 9 p.m. already, barely um catching a ride back home. So and all these mini challenges, like, oh, I have to walk back home. Oh, the gate is closed, right? Oh, it's starting to drizzle, it's starting to rain, right? It didn't really matter. It didn't really matter when I just followed that again, which is have a clear mission, purpose, or intention. And again, I'll always go back to that thought if I'll have one thought in my head. It's how can I help? So that's my answer. That's my experience of how to not feel bad. And I'm practicing it right now also. So people watching the live or the replay, that was it for this one, how to not feel bad. Comment down below if you have your own process, you have your own experience of how you were able to not feel bad for an entire day. I'm not saying that I did not feel any discomfort. I'm not saying that I didn't have ego thoughts that were uncomfortable or challenging. Definitely. And as you saw in those pictures, so if ever you've commuted from like the north end to the south, uh, or just went through an adventure like that, and maybe was able to do it for someone to support them or to help them because you felt like in that moment they really needed it, and maybe that could be the first and last time you could ever do that. And I really mean that. Some of you get what I mean. then comment down below. So if any of you are feeling a challenge with something else, comment deep dive down below. Maybe your challenge is not about feeling bad, right? How to not feel bad. Maybe it's something else. You're going through something else in life. Maybe it's health, maybe it's money, maybe it's relationships, maybe it's your spiritual life, right? Like you're feeling lost or you need purpose, like that. So comment deep dive down below. I'll reach out to you, just listen first. And then if you want to break through, you want some help, take it to the next level, then I can help you with that. So thank you. I love you. And I will see you next